You want to sit in the Lamborghini? Sure. All right, you got it, dude. Now, here's what you can do. Reach your foot up to that pedal and just give it one push and let go. What does that feel like? Heaven, right? Now give it one hard push and let go. All right, how's that feel? Right? There you go. And it is another beautiful day here in sunny Southern California, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you why I believe that the car dealerships in general, in whole, all the new car dealerships, for the most part, there's some good ones out there, but they have overplayed their hand to a dangerous extreme based on greed that could mark the beginning of the end of car dealerships as we know them. But first, I received a whole bunch of stuff for my Hellcat, and I want to show you what I've got that I'm going to be installing very soon in future videos. But check this out. So as many of you know, I got pulled over for no front license plate, and that happens probably every couple of months. It just is what it is. I will never, ever drill holes in the front of my car and put a front license plate on. So I ordered this cool thing from Tigo. And no, this is not sponsored, but check this thing out. I just hooked up my battery real quick. So when you get pulled over, imagine this, or you see a cop, you push this button, watch this, and this comes out from beneath the front of the car. There's your license plate. Then, when you don't want it there anymore, push this button, and it goes back underneath the car. So this thing will mount underneath the front of the car. Hopefully there's enough room. If not, you'll find out, because I'm going to do a video on it really soon. Also, I'm going to show you the other stuff that just came in. All right, so check this out. This is the leg maker cold air intake for my Hellcat. Carbon fiber, look how beautiful that is. This will be getting installed probably in the next week or so. And just so all of you know, the reason why I'm doing this is not to gain horsepower, and it will potentially mess up my gas mileage, but because I want this car to whine so loudly so people 2 blocks away can hear my car coming with that loud supercharger whine. And it's easily reversible. I can put it on and I can take it off if I don't like it. So we're gonna have some fun. This is about 550 bucks, but nonetheless, if I end up not liking it, I'll give it away on the channel. So stay tuned, like, subscribe. Next, I did receive these, and I will maybe do a video about these because I've given you all so much heat about the pink and yellow front splitter guards, the shipping guards. Here's the deal. Here's the solution. Here's one of the solutions. SlipBlow has these, and you can literally stick these underneath the front splitter and it will protect your front splitter from scraping when you pull it out of the parking lots. And this was very cheap. I don't know how much. I'll put a link in the description below. But I'll put these on soon as well because I do care about my front splitter, even though I'm not going to have this thing or the pink one stuck to my car. Next, I got the puddle lights. These are the Hellcat puddle lights. I will throw these on hopefully today, and maybe I'll even show you a clip right now of what they look like because these are going to look amazing, hopefully. Next, I'm going to permanently install my radar detector behind my mirror, and this kit will allow me to do that by tapping directly into the power in my rearview mirror, so the radar detector doesn't have to be wired with a long cord all the way down. So that's going to go in. I'll do a video on that. And then, of course, my T130 VOFO dash cam. I sold my Scat Pack with my 3-channel dash cam in it, and this one is going to go in this car because I believe in it and it's a great product. So those are coming soon. Still need to get the car ceramic coated. I only have about 800 miles on it, so it's not been driven a whole heck of a bunch. And I'm going to probably, maybe, possibly, not sure yet, 100%, but do some stripes on this thing. So lots of cool stuff coming for the Hellcat. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the stuff. Now, let's jump in the car and talk about my car buying experiences and how those came out. You might learn something on how to negotiate with these clowns because I'll tell you, they are acting like clowns right now. It is unbelievable, the games that they play. But you can win if you pay attention, you watch this video, and you employ these strategies. Let's jump in the car and talk about this.
Yeah, shorty got that mind. Gonna try to hide in the silence and try times. Yeah, wanna be that person you confide in, every reason you can cry. Tell me, do you feel this? I've got it. Like them hellos, they really goodbyes. All that drama, can't put that aside. Gonna be the death of us both. The truth hurts, but them lies sounded beautiful. So if it ain't the truth, don't wanna find it. Sound just like you found a new line now. Get that makeup sex, come on, line down. Let's get it poppin' right now. Come on, tell me lie,
much, let me share with you why I think the dealers have overplayed their hand. While they had an opportunity to make a lot more money this last couple of years in a very fair way, they chose, many of them chose, to go full bore hard on these markups and add-ons and inflated prices. Like I shared in another video where it was like a $5,000 or $6,000 window tint charge. I mean, the insanity they would share with you at the dealership of why these charges are there with a complete straight face. Yet if those same people trying to explain this to you were in your shoes at the dealership looking to purchase a car, would be wrestling you and calling you a cheat and a liar and a thief, all of a sudden they see it as totally justified. I don't completely blame the salespeople because they're there being given instruction by leadership to go out and behave a certain way. And they're being sold a narrative, and that narrative absolutely fits what they're able to see on the dealership floor. They're able to see a very scarce amount of cars in inventory. But I also believe this is a self-perpetuating circumstance because manufacturers like Ford themselves, even Dodge said this, and others have made it clear from the CEO's position, let me pull over here and stop, from the CEO's position of the manufacturer, that if you charge huge markups or markups to buyers, to consumers, that they're going to withhold some of their most popular cars and reduce the amount of the allocations that these dealers get. Meaning that if they have low inventory now and they add humongous markups now, and then Ford finds out, or the manufacturer finds out, that now they're going to end up having less cars. So now Ford says, instead of giving you 5 allocations or 10 allocations for a GT500, we're only going to give you 1. So that dealership then says, well, if you're only going to give me 1, then I'm going to put a $50,000 markup on that thing since I'm only going to get 1. And then this perpetuates itself, where the manufacturer is trying to do something right. The dealer's saying, well, since you're doing that to me, I'm going to do more. Where if the manufacturer said, hey, I will give you 25 of these things, just sell them at MSRP, the dealer might say, hey, that's cool, we will do that. But then we have the supply chain shortage, and we had the pandemic. And that created a circumstance where all these manufacturers were short on cars, or they had the cars built, but they couldn't get them on the road because there were no chips available. So the dealers started to get choked off, but the dealers were still getting cars. But they decided, you know what, since we're not getting enough cars, we're going to mark up the existing cars. And then we're going to go out and we're going to pay more for used cars, and we're going to put these cars at higher prices because you can't get my new car for the same exact price, which I just went through on my Camry. So they couldn't put a new car up for the same price as the new cars that they overpaid for from us, where we benefited, but they've got to charge more money to the consumer for that used car. But then they can't put the new car out for MSRP because it's too close to the price of the used car. So this whole thing started to self-perpetuate and create a circumstance where now when we walk into a dealership, there's these markups. The thing is a $1,500 markup probably would have been somewhat acceptable for all of us. Maybe a $2,000 markup, but they went nuts, and this is where overplaying their hand came in. They thought, well, we have what everybody wants, and we're so big nobody can take us out. The manufacturer can't compete with us because of franchise laws. So now we're going to go ahead and raise it $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, to an extent that we literally saw cars at $50,000 markups. People are buying Ford Broncos for over $100,000. There's 2 regular Hellcats in my area right now for $110,000. It's insane. And as long as someone's willing to buy them, they're willing to charge those fees. The problem is we've got to get to people through videos like this and say, stop it. Don't pay those markups. Spend some more time out there searching. I've had the benefit of all of you helping me along the way with these purchases and telling me where to get good deals, how to get good deals. And if I paid too much, you were quick to tell me I did. So I had an obligation to make sure that I didn't go out there and get screwed and then do a video on how I got screwed. So while on the high-end cars, I understand it's a GT500, it's going to be a limited car. I understood when the markups, I didn't agree with it, were enormous on the Demons because the consumers were driving that. It wasn't a pandemic, it wasn't circumstances of shortage, it was a manufacturer-created supply issue, meaning they're only going to make 3,000 Demons, so everybody wanted to get their hands on them, and everybody wanted to collect them, and everybody wanted to capitalize on the opportunity of maybe selling them for more money, because that was created as a lower production vehicle. But now you've got Toyota Camrys with $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 markups and add-ons added in, like that almost $50,000 Camry that I showed you all in one of the other videos. And the sticker was like $33,000 or $34,000 for this thing. Absolutely insane. And there was a couple there actually like trying to buy the car. I don't know if they ever did, but they were there trying to buy the car. Those people, if they bought that car, got wildly screwed. And this will straighten itself out at some point, and it's going to straighten itself out in a very unnatural fashion, meaning people like me are going to put their foot down and say, I'm not doing it anymore. Hopefully people like you are going to say, I'm not doing it anymore. But let's talk about why the dealers screwed up. Had they just put the cars up for MSRP, because remember when we were buying cars, there was a $7,000, $8,000 manufacturer rebate from Dodge, the power dollars, and every car manufacturer out there was throwing money at people. And we all knew that they were kind of inflating the prices and then giving us back a discount. And that was fine because we didn't care if you priced it at that price or if you priced at this price and then came down. But they set themselves up for being able to eliminate the manufacturer rebates and just sell the cars for manufacturer suggested retail price. Had they just done that during the pandemic and said, look, we're going to go, we're not negotiating anymore. We're not going to give you $7,000, $8,000 off. We're not going to give you $5,000. We're not going to give you $1,500 cash back, $3,000 cash back. We're not going to give you 0% interest anymore. We're going to sell the cars at the suggested retail price. And then if they just would have said, and we're going to give you more options and let you decide. And then based on their ability to sell and your inability to defend yourself against a good salesperson, you ended up buying maybe some wheels for the car for retail price, and they made the normal profit they would normally make. But at least you got wheels that you would pay the same after you bought the car, and they got the profit on those wheels because they were able to buy them at wholesale cost. And whatever it is, whether it was tinted windows, build in a respectful, normal profit margin like in any product that they're selling. But to do window tint for $6,000 was overplaying the hand. And because they got greedy and they decided, we're going to do this, do what we do on high-end, low production cars, we're going to do it with mass-produced regular cars like my Camry, they overplayed their hand. And for that reason, we all hate them. We don't like them. We didn't like them before because they would play games in the dealership. It would take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours just to get through the process to buy a car because they had to take most of that time beating you up and getting you to take a bad interest rate, getting you to take the car for a higher price, and then sell you into all the other add-on stuff. I mean, but it was a fair, uncomfortable, and painful negotiation. But then Tesla came out, Rivian, and others, Lucid Motors, the electric car companies, and they're saying, hey, look, you can order the car on our website, and it is what it is. We don't even offer financing. Go get financing somewhere else. Which takes me to how I bought my last few cars, is I had my financing in place. And I will tell you, all of you, you need to make sure when you go buy a car, have your financing in place and have your interest rate established. Know exactly what your payments are going to be and get pre-approved. Credit unions, I know mine, Navy Federal Credit Union, they will give you an approval for a blanket amount, and then you get a check. You write the VIN number in that check. It says the check's not good past a certain amount. You sign it. They call the dealership, they call the bank, and the bank gives them a code to put on the check, and the check's good. You leave in that car. So you, in essence, paid cash for that car. When you show up to a dealership to buy a car, and you can negotiate only on price, not on payment, then you isolate that salesperson down to a really simple negotiation, which happened on my Camry, which was, I will buy the car for MSRP, nothing more, nothing less, and I will do this deal immediately. And I have the cash. I have my financing already in place. We're done. Now, if you guys want to finance me, I'm happy to apply and let you beat my interest rate. My interest rate is X. If you can beat that interest rate, I will go through your financing. Even if that means maybe I could have gotten a 3% and they give me a 3.5%, and I had 4.79 with my credit union, they could take that 0.5% spread. I don't care. They beat my rate. It's a very fair negotiation when you set the bar of what they need to beat. But instead, what happened to me at this Toyota dealership, which was downright offensive and disgusting, and I'll do another video in detail about this, but just so you know, this is happening to you out there if you're going into dealerships, is they still, when I said, go ahead and finance me, they didn't know what to say to that. If you can beat my rate. They didn't know what to say. It was like they went on tilt all of a sudden. So then they go back to the manager, the salesman goes back to the manager, they run my credit, and they come back, and the salesperson says, well, because you had this ding 7.5 years ago. Literally, this was what was said to me. Perfect sense. Perfect. And your FICO scores look under 700, which they were, but not far below, because I took an 11-point hit when I paid off a couple of my cars recently. No big deal. I'm generally between 680 and 750, depending on the month. They say, well, because of that, we're probably going to have to do you in tier 3 financing with Toyota, and I don't think we can beat that rate with your credit union. I said, get your sales manager out here. This is, first of all, I'm offended you're going back 7.5 years. That's stupid. Second, get her out here. You're just trying to jam me up. I'm paying cash for the car. Get her out here. I only have an hour and a half to do this deal, and I'm walking. I'm done. And he says, no problem. He gets her to come out, and she comes out with the most smug look on her face saying, well, you know, because of your scores, you're not going to qualify for a tier 1. You're going to be tier 3, and that interest rate runs around 6%. And I know we're not going to be able to beat your credit union. I believe wholly that she didn't think I really had my credit union loan, which I understand because I actually applied on their website when they told me to try to beat that rate. But she's thinking, since I applied with them, that I'm just playing poker with her. Well, I said, no, I'm paying cash for the car. I can swipe my ATM card, put my PIN number in, and pay for that car. So if you don't want to do it, she goes, I'm sorry, there's no specials on Camrys. There's no special interest rates. I said, I had 2.99% a year ago on my Prius. Why couldn't you do that right now? She says, well, that was then. This is now. Things are very different. There's no deals being offered by Toyota. I'm sorry. TFS, Toyota Financial Services. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just do my credit union. I was going to do that anyways. Thought you guys wanted to make money. We do, but basically, I'm not good enough, is the way she made me feel. Thinking that at some point, I'm going to cave in and go, okay, what can you do? And they're going to get me done for 6%. Not going to happen. So then I waited 30 minutes. They sent me back to finance, and here's what happened. The finance guy, wonderful guy, awesome guy, he goes, I'm looking at your credit. It's perfect. You don't have a single late payment. You've never had a late payment. You're like golden. Why aren't you going through TFS? And I said, because so-and-so out there said that I'm a loser and I can't get that loan and she has to take me with 6%. He literally said, I will do you right now at 2.99. Done. I go, all right, you want to check with somebody, make sure? He goes, done. It's already done. It's on my computer screen. Look, I can write it up and commit to the financing now. Not like maybe later, now. Done. He did. It's on my app. I already have my account set up and it's done. So he got me 2.99. Now here's what the salesman said when I said to him, but dude, did you see what happened there? She was trying to give me the rope-a-dope and she got caught. She was trying to hem me up with a high interest rate. Did you see what happened? He goes, no. She just didn't know. I said, look, I understand you might be new, but she wasn't new. If she's been in the car business 1 hour, 1 day, she knew my credit was bulletproof. She knew TFS was going to give me the tier bump. She knew my FICO score was getting banged up because I was paying stuff off, not because I did things wrong, and that TFS is going to give me the loan. Same thing happened last time. I even tried to tell her that, gave her every chance to go and do it, and she gave me the, well, it'll probably be 6%. You see what happened? And he's like, yeah, I know, but it's, I just don't think she knew. She knew exactly. These people do hundreds of these things a month. She knew exactly. So I will tell you all out there, Please be careful. Do not get the financing from the dealership unless you have your financing established with a credit union or your bank or anyone where you have a baseline for your interest rate. And for that reason, I think we're all fed up with dealing with dealerships. I think we're tired of it. And we were good with the games. We were good with the long, full-day jaunts at the dealerships back before COVID. But now, with all the markups, if I'm going to pay you extra, the experience better be better. And the experience has gotten worse. The experience has gotten uglier. It's gotten nastier with markups. Now, this dealer didn't do the markup on me, and I believe they were hoping they could gross me on the interest rate. I believe that was the case. I do feel grateful that they did the deal, but they did not make money. They made money at MSRP. So I get that they maybe realized the car market may be cooling off a little bit and go ahead and knock that deal out. And they did. And I literally got out of there in an hour and a half. Literally, the salesman told me the day before, I said, I'm not going to spend 6 hours. He says, no, we could do it in 3. And I'm like, I'm not doing it in 3. So in short and in summary, I believe that at some point, franchise agreements will end with these dealerships. And I think the manufacturers are likely to say, pound sand, we're not renewing, or we're going to renew on different terms. And we're going to sell direct, and you can sell, but we're going to sell direct, and you're going to be a service center and a delivery portal for people to be able to order cars online. Whoever wants to order online can do that. And then people who want to walk in and have that experience, that torturous, painful experience, they're welcome to do that. And then things are going to swing all the way back to the other end, where when we walk into dealerships, they're going to have to negotiate with us. They're going to have to reduce the prices, and we're going to punish them for what they did to us this last 2 years. So if they survive, the dynamic's going to change, because people are not going to be able to get out of their cars because they're going to be buried in the cars they put them in. So they're going to have to live with that issue. So my hope and my expectation, and I believe right now, if there was any bill to be passed right now, any law to get passed that disadvantaged car dealers, that it would pass rapidly. It would pass so quickly that it wouldn't even be a question, because no one agrees with the exorbitant markups they've been doing. And what's sad is these dealerships that have been doing this stuff are making all the good dealerships look bad along with them. So Toyota of the Desert did me great on the price, but they tried to stick me at 6%, and that was offensive. And that was offensive because you had somebody who should know what they're doing telling me basically a lie. Now, if she really didn't know, if she really didn't know, then I forgive her, okay? And everything will work out in heaven one day. But right now on this planet Earth, it's not working out. And I would just implore you all, show up with your financing, be firm on your price. You may have to pay MSRP and nothing less. Look for manufacturer incentives on their websites. Show up with that information so that they don't, I don't know if there's a way for them to take it so that you at least get that, but bring that up after you negotiate your price and you're headed to finance. That way they can't negotiate the price with that in mind. And then don't put up with the 6-hour tour in the dealership. Search around, put the work in, call many dealerships, find the reputable ones, and give them your business. And then someday, if they keep playing this, we may be ordering cars direct, and these dealers may be just big, huge service centers, and they'll be selling off all those big empty parking lots. But I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't put it past some of these dealerships to have 20 cars sitting in the back lot, and they're only putting 2 or 3 out. Not accusing anybody of anything, but I'll tell you, as these things sort themselves out, I just would not be surprised if at some dealers that maybe they only put 2 or 3 out at a time, because they've got to keep this car shortage thing going longer, because they have had their highest profit years in the history of car dealers this last 2 years, primarily because of these markups, and every bit of evidence out there and every article supports that. So with that, everybody, hope this video was informative, and I hope you all take this advice when you're negotiating for your car and don't pay markups. So please like, subscribe, comment, be respectful, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next one.
Sweet, sweet lies. Gonna love me in the morning time.